Hi guys, so today I just wanted to talk quickly in this video about the outlook of the market at the moment and what is going on, and is there panic, is there a reason to be scared, and possible causes and maybe reversal date. So starting off, we just want to look quickly at what is the main issue at the moment in the market. So if we're looking at the S&P 500, you can see clearly that the market is currently down, and over the last month or so, since about mid-February, we have taken a bit of a dive down, but there has been speculation that this is because of the recent bond yield rises. So when bond yield rises, they're a government issued investment. So basically they're labelled risk-free, as it's backed by the full faith of the government. So people with large funds, market makers, banks are moving away from the risk of the S&P 500, whose yields are at the moment falling, and moving into these risk-free yields, even though the yield is still smaller. Now, at the moment, the 10-year bonds are at about, the 10-year Treasury bond yield is at 1.496%. If we go, that is nowhere near anything to be worried about, in my opinion, because if we go back on the chart here, we see that they were in 2018 even at 3.149%. So I mean, it's very unlikely that they're going to go back up to a very high level like that. I mean, if they do, then it could be some uncertainty. There might be a bit of a pullback, but I mean, the market may be looking at 5% pullback, which is not that bad. It's people getting scared. Lots of new retail investors in the market at the moment who are not wanting to invest the money and are selling at losses. And it's basically like people, no one wants to catch a falling knife. So what is the best thing to do in this situation? Well, if you're faithful in your stocks and you think that what you've invested in is a good investment, then it might not be the best thing to sell. You're probably best holding on to what you've got. However, everyone has different financial situations, and it might be better for some people to take the cash and look for a different opportunity. But in my personal opinion, what I'm doing is just holding on. I have researched the stocks I'm into. I know what they're about. I know what they're looking to do over the next couple of months, next years. So I'm personally not looking to panic sell anything that I've got at the moment. The market is red, my portfolio is red, unfortunately, but there's not much that you can do about it. It just happens. But there's been a lot of new investors over the last couple of months as well, especially since the GameStop and EMC fiasco, and especially since last year's crash, actually, since March last year, when the market took a tumble, everyone was buying the dip, but no one realised they were buying the dip, and they were entering into a bull market because everything was recovering. So as we're starting to see this little bit of uncertainty rising, this is something that tends to happen in the stock market, and it does happen. You look at the S&P 100 and 500, it isn't a straight line. There is volatility, there is market risk, as I mentioned in a post on Instagram. The risk at the moment is systematic, and it's not an individual firm's risk. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people struggle with, is that they see the whole market going down and then they think that their investments are bad because of that, when in actual fact that is not the case. Everything is going down. Like, you're lucky to find a green stock at the moment, unfortunately. Some places I think are good to look at the moment are special purpose acquisitions companies, SPACs. They have taken a massive beating recently. There's some really good ones there that I think have great potential upsides, and I think that there is a lot of buying opportunities in this market. However, as I'm always going to say, this is not financial advice. You've got to do your own research, believe in a company, believe in a stock, see if it's a good buying opportunity, and make that decision for yourself. But we're just going to see how this goes at the moment. I mean, there is a lot of panic, and a lot of uncertainty, and no one quite knows which way it's going to go, as always in the market. But in my personal view, I think that it comes down to these 10-year bonds rising, and that is creating some speculation that there could be a pullback, maybe a correction of 10%. But in my eyes, it's always going to keep going higher, and there is going to always be growth. So you might just have to hold on to them stocks a little bit longer than you wanted to. Traders might have to turn into a bit of a long holder for now. But in my eyes, it's nothing to be worried about. In what I see for the next couple of months is there might be a bit of uncertainty leading up to about May, June time, but as the market starts to open up, the interest rates are going to be low. So a lot of consumers are going to be out there spending the money. It's going to get the economy in full swing. New businesses are going to be opening up again. There's going to be lots of people who've been struggling who are going to have that new source of income, especially in the UK. A lot of people are going to be leaving the furlough scheme, and I think there's just going to be a lot of growth that's available in the market even through all this disaster with the lockdowns and the pandemic. But I'd love to hear what other people have to say. Justin, maybe I'm missing something too. There might be some other angles that people are thinking of. So if you do have a different perspective on this, just let us know in the comments. Follow our Instagram and let us know there. We do make posts quite regularly on our philosophies on this, and even head over into our Patreon and have a look at our Discord, where we have live up-to-date news posts, and we're talking constantly about what the best thing is to do, what people's different strategies are, and it keeps you very informed and keeps you knowledgeable, and it's really good for learning if you're a newbie to the market. Don't let big banks and people with lots more money in the funds scare you. Unfortunately, the worst case scenario, you've invested in a stock which is good, it's going down at the moment, and you have to hold it for 6 months more than you originally planned to. So take everything with a pinch of salt, do some research, do some reading on what you think is the best thing to do, and make your own decisions. So on that note, I just want to do a little video just talking about a quick chat about what I think is going on in the market and potential outcomes. And if you want a follow-up video, ask some questions and I could do a follow-up video on that. But on that note, just a brief summary. I'm going to end the video there. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and we'll see you next time.